Hello, everybody. Sassafras again with another healing video. This one, though, is cool because this is not going to be a video of me. This is a video of a friend of mine who reached out and said, "Hey, Pras, help me be a better healer." And I said, "Of course." I know there are some hippity-toppity amazing people on the internet that do this, but, they aren't our friends. And I'm sure they get hundreds or thousands of requests for that and only do one or two. So this is a guaranteed way to get me to watch your video and see how it goes. So first things first, I don't actually. My friend's a healing priest, holy priest, and I don't actually know much about priest skills. So I thought I'd check out her armory and her abilities here and see how they go. So here is my friend up on the armory. Quick icy veins check. The stats are outlined like we would want for raid healing, but not so much for dungeon healing. If we wanted dungeon healing, we would want a lot more in the crit and haste department, and a lot less over here, I believe. But for raid healing, here we are. Talents are another case of these talents are set up for raid healing, not dungeon healing. Recommend Apotheosis. Recommend the other one here, whatever the 45 tier one is, and then recommend the flash heal one here with Enlightenment, and we're going to come back to that in a second. If before you leave Ouroboros, you change those 3 talents into the different ones, you're going to find a much easier time of healing. The next thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to see what other healers are doing, what other holy priests are doing. So I checked out Raider IO's lists, and I went down from the top because, again, the top folks are not necessarily doing things that make sense to us. So here we are at down here, and I picked a couple names, and I went over to Warcraft logs, and is this one I've got? No. And I found some logs here that show us stuff. So this particular priest on Theater of Pain 15 is doing about 30% heal and about 11% flash heal, so that's 41% single targets. This is just a priest passive here. And then everything else goes down from there. I did pick Necrolords too, as you can see, because my friend is a Necrolord, and I think that's awesome. Okay. So there we got 41% single targets and everything else. Here, we see the overall stuff. This person is doing about 35% single targets between heal and flash heal, the priest passive, and everything else down from there. So we can actually check out what my friend was doing because details checks that out. So here is my friend's thing. And what do we see? We see 20%. We see heal on here anywhere? We don't. We see 20% single targets, the priest passive, a lot more renews, some holy word serenities, and then kind of down from there. There's a major difference. And remember I said this business about, if I bring up this Chrome here, move this over here, we have this talent here, this Enlightenment talent, which gives more mana, but the other one of these makes flash heal proc and stuff like that. Well, look at flash heal is the most common heal cast. Let's change this one out. Especially at 10 pluses with pride buffs and everything else, you probably don't need mana, and you can sneak a few seconds between most pulls. So that should help out, I would think, actually a fair bit. I think that's everything here in the prep. The people at high level are casting a lot more single target heals than you are. And they're doing similar DPS, which is good. Yeah, so let's see what's going on from there. We can close this one out. We can close this one out, and let's play this video. See what we see. All right. So first things first here. You've got your health bars close to the group, which is fab. You've got your targets. What's this? This is your personal here. This is your uh oh, you can't see any of this. Oh, what's that? Why did that happen? All right. Now we're set. There we go. Okay. So you've got your target here, personal bar here, your group here, which is right next to where we look all the time, which is really nice. I would because you've got all this stuff over here, I would get rid of these. You don't need those because they're already here. I would definitely get rid of all of this. This is just clogging things up. And just trying to get yourself more space to see. Are these all weak auras here? About cooldowns? I would guess so, which seems good, but that's busy. I mean, if you use it, this is your UI, so if you can use it, that's super good. But for me, this looks all very busy in here. And if it's busy, it's harder to see. I would also consider removing all the numbers in here. Again, just clogging stuff up. More input, more information that you probably don't need. But those are all really small things. I love the general setup. You've got a target that you can clearly see. You've got a group that you can clearly see. All looking great. So let's get to the play here. Come on, press play. Come on, there it goes. Okay. So, oop. All right. So yeah, it's good. Some DPS when there's nothing else happening. I just saw something that's interesting, but I want to hold my comment on it until more. Now this is interesting. Okay. Okay, that is interesting. So here, my friend gets a Spiteful Shade spawned on her. And wait for it. So she gets to be the very first Spiteful Shade target. And look at what happens. It spawns right behind her bars. Which I think your bars are in a great spot. But I don't know if that's why you didn't see that or not. But those things you gotta book it. So now you're panicking because your health is low, right? So we gotta remember that. Now we're running away. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, now this guy's gonna do some AoE healing, AoE damage. So let's see how this goes. Okay, it's a flash heal. Was about to do some DPS, canceled it, moved. All right. All right. I see a thing here. Right. Okay. Did you catch the thing that happened in there? I presume that this is going to be a consistent thing. Let's watch that pull again. And I want to watch how many times that there is no spell being cast, or we are about to finish a cast and instead we move. Check this out. Okay, so we're casting Flash Heal. Flash Heal, stopped casting, standing still, doing nothing. Okay. And, okay, there's a couple instants in there. Flash Heal. Okay, we're casting the prayer healing. Nothing's happening, nothing's happening, nothing's happening. There's an instant. Prayer. Okay, we're getting some instants. Now we're moving. Right, so there was probably 3 to 4 more spells in there that we could have cast. And some that we almost did and then canceled at the last second. Where they wouldn't have hurt. They would have been fine. Those little joggy little movements can get in our way, and it's hard to just plant. It really, really is. Um, and they're like small optimizations, just moving more than we had to. Okay, so we're doing some flash healing. So right now, you're flash heal spamming, but I don't need it, right? My health is actually doing really well, and we're just spamming heals on it. Um, okay, giving a run. Oh, good, speed up. Right. If you can, you really want to cast while moving, but it is a skill that is hard to learn. But I noticed that all of this runaway time, you're not casting any spells. So if the group had been taking damage at that point, we weren't. But if they had been, that could have gotten a bit ugly. Right. Right. So there's more movement. That wasn't super needed, and then we just move back anyway. Like standing still means you're healing better if you can, and instead of taking 10 steps, take 2. Right? There was another these little shifts, right? Are not, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so there's another cast that almost went off that didn't, and then ultimately you cast that flash heal anyway, right? Okay. So let's see how things go here. So far we've got um stopping casts that are almost done, uh, spamming flash heals when there's no real healing to be done, um, and moving more instead of less. And I don't count running away from the guy on that. See here, right, to avoid that volcanic, you ran all the way down the stairs. You only had to run 3 steps. Okay. Right, so here comes another shade, and let's see how she deals with this shade. Uh, yeah, face tank. Um, which in that case was fine. In that case, it hit you once and you had the health for it, right? Another shade, got around that one. But here we are, here we are. Oh, you cast. Okay, good, good. There was a couple casts while running there. I was about to say running, not casting while moving again. But at the very least, renew's not on cooldown, right? At the very least, I think practicing tossing a renew while moving can get you used to casting while moving, with a relatively harmless cast, right? Is there better spells to cast? Sure, of course. Is that one you absolutely can just focus on as a starter? Absolutely, because there's no downside to casting that spell. And I see there once again moved much farther than we had to. So, think about it. If you're moving, you're not casting all your good spells, right? And also right now, while you're moving, you're not casting any spells for the most part. So, moving less is really going to increase your output, and increasing your output's a very large move there again. Uh, if we increase your output, then you generally keep the health bars more topped off, and you feel more comfortable, and you have more fun. Because I don't know about you, but I super hate healing from behind it. See, that's a great move. That one was great. You moved just outside the green. But then we moved back, and we didn't actually need to do that. So just more moves that weren't super necessary. So there's a interrupting roar. Oh, you got caught by it. Which is fine. You get caught by those sometimes. Not the worst. Um, okay, so this is a very hard pull. It's a fortified week. Let's see how this goes. Okay. So yeah, I just that's my pre-bop uh on you. Which a hope which I did to give some confidence. If you see that big crown on your head, you're like, okay, I'm just gonna plan here because nothing's gonna hurt me. All of this movement again, not actually necessary. None of this stuff does any area-based damage. But you're keeping everybody up quite nicely. Once again, just a little bit too much movement. These, and there's a cooldown. Oh, that's Divine Hymn, isn't it? Yeah, good, good. Yeah, this is a great pull for Divine Hymn because there's nothing that's gonna catch you for standing in it. And you're just gonna pop everybody up. That's probably a pretty good move there. Don't worry about DPSing those shades. That doesn't really. They kill themselves. You're better to just run from them. Okay. Somebody got hit by a thing. That's unfortunate. Yeah, and I can tell that that's bugging you. Yeah. Yeah, I want to go back to that because I can. Okay, because these mouse movements are familiar to me. Okay, so this player here. Oh, where's my edits? Where's my edits? This player here gets hit by a thing, and their health is really low, and I go back a little bit more. We go. Okay, so yes, so this player right there gets hit by a thing, and I want you to watch the mouse movements and stuff like that. There's a lot of thought going in here to healing this person. So there it goes. Got a little bit off, got a little bit. We're thinking about it some more, but we're not casting anything with too far of a move, and now we're finally up there. But there was a lot of choice. Like we want to do that in like one heal if we can, and just commit to it. Alternately, you can think about, is this person likely to take more damage right away? And on this particular guy, no. It's not actually a panic, right? So let's see what happens again there. So we're going to heal that person up. Yeah, there, that's what we want to see. You top that person up, you finished your DPS cast. I loved it. You got that person topped up and kept going. Good. So that shades on you. This is going to cause more healing. One thing to think about here is that if you prevent damage, it takes a global cooldown or whatever else. If you take the damage, it takes a global cooldown because you got to heal it, right? So keep in mind that it's always that choice. Oops, sorry. Always that choice. Okay. So here's a banner. Oh, you were drinking. Oh, that's great, actually. That's great. So we're... Oh. Right. Okay. So let's see what happens next time before I come back to that. Let's see. All right, so here's a banner. You thought about it again. You almost finished your cast, and then you stopped it. Again, just finish that cast. Just get it off. That was a lot of standing still there. Okay. Right. Okay. All right. So let's talk about this boss. All right. Let's go back a little bit more here. Okay. So this boss is very, very predictable. There's a set pattern here all the time. And okay, so we're gonna get a banner. We gotta kill the banner. Okay. And healers, I really do need to help here. Then he's gonna do this middle thing. Now here he's got this half of the room right here, right? And we want to get out of that. Now we know we're already out of it. Now we know the next thing that's gonna happen is gonna be one of three things. He's gonna hit the half of the room again. He's gonna do a line, or he's gonna do the circle. In all cases, the best thing to do is run towards him. You set up the easiest move for next. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so we're gonna stand still. I don't mind this. I don't mind this. What happens next? Okay, now this is the line right here. He's gonna hit this way. We're standing in it. What we need to do is we need to just sidestep to about there, because we really don't want to get hit by this. And we know that the next thing that's going to happen, because he hasn't done it yet, and he always does this at least once, is he's going to do the circle. He's going to hit in the area. So the best thing to do here is just to start going this way right now. That's going to avoid the line that you're currently in, and it's going to set up to avoid this. This is what I mean when I say things like we want to always be preparing for what's coming up. The best move is go this way because it gets you away from the line and it also gets you out of the circle. But we take a hit in the circle. That probably causes a panic because we didn't mean to get hit by that. Feels bad. Now look at here. Now we're out of it. That's all we have to do. Right there. Right there. But, right. Then we got hit by that too. So now we're probably panicking more. This starts to feel super bad, right? So, here we go. We start and stop a cast. We move. Heal some people up. We start and stop a cast. We do some more moving. Banner's up. We almost hit it. We stop the cast. Some stuff. And now we're about to get another thing. So everybody just got hit. But here's the thing. We see this health. We see all this missing health here. But nobody's going to take damage unless they get hit by the thing coming up here. And if they get hit by the thing, it's not your fault. It's their fault. And on hierarchies, the thing's going to kill them whether they're at 100% or 5%, so it doesn't much matter. So what we want to be thinking about now is the renew movement, right? Renew as you move. Just global cooldowns renew. Just get everybody up because none of the rest of the damage matters. See how this goes. Of course, we already know. Okay, so we've got this here. This is gonna shoot there. It looks like we're already past it, which is good. Now the best move is just to stand still. I think you're about here-ish. And so we just want to stand still because the next thing is either going to be a half of the room or a circle. And either way, we want to be close. So let's see what happens. Press play. Okay, so we got half the room. Well, I think you can see that the best way, right there, right? And if we had avoided that, remember when I said get closer? It's because it shortens this distance. You're in a lot of trouble here. And that's a lot of trouble before you started running the wrong way. Right? So we want to get closer. So many bosses we want to be closer in this expansion. So you're about to get hit by this too, right? Yep, didn't make it out. Okay, now we've seen a line. We've seen half the room. We know the next one that's coming out because he does this one guaranteed every time. This is the circle. Look, we're already on the outside. We just have to go right there. That's all we got to do. So we know it's coming. Right? Small movements rather than bigger, and take a moment. Take a moment to figure it out. Because once again, now we're in this situation where you have somebody in the group in somewhat danger. Again, there's not much in this boss that's going to hit you, but again, it feels bad. We start to feel like we're getting behind. Things are going wrong, right? So let's get this going here. Okay. So there's a new banner. There's a cast that we didn't finish. Doing some damage, like it. Doing some damage, doing some renews, doing some instants, good. Good, things down, cast that we didn't finish. Okay, now, we were standing outside of that one. We ran at it. But I don't hate this because we didn't get hit by it. Best move now, let's go right here. Wait for the next one. It's going to be a half the room or it's going to be a rotation, right? So, either way, we're better there. Okay, yeah, look at that. You followed my line that time. This time, you went in exactly the way I said to, and you're not going to get hit by this one. Yep. Now, we know we haven't seen the circle yet, so we know the circle's coming next. So ideally, you just finish going that way. Let's see what happens. Long way again. Right? Take the short moves. Take the short moves. Okay. The next bits are a bit dull, so I'm going to move ahead a little bit. Where we are here. We do a few things. Do some ghosties. Okay, this is where I wanted to go. All right. So now we've got, guys, now we know AoE damage is coming here. Hopefully we know that. Here comes the Soul Storm. There's going to be a ton of AoE damage here. No cast, no cast. Flash heal, but we're taking AoE damage. We don't want a flash heal. We want burst healing, right? The whole group's getting hit. There it finally goes. There's the cooldown. Now we're getting some stuff done, right? But that was late, right? We want to do that soon. Now, how can you tell? I don't know this. I don't know the instances as well as you, Fras. How can I tell? Well, let's talk about that. Okay, here we go. So we're going in. We don't know what this mob's going to do. We know it's a portal guardian. We know stuff's happening. We're not quite sure what's happening. Okay, now. Okay, we see this cast here. Soul Storm. See that we see it on the cast bar there. Hopefully that's somewhere that we can actually notice it. We see this is a long cast. It's going down real slow. Look at this. Everybody just took damage. This cast bar is hidden, but we can see that cast bar is up there, right? We know that everybody took damage and that there's still 80% of the cast bar to go. We can predict the rest. This is going to be a lot of AoE damage. Divine him now. All right, still going down. Look at this. See, we can still see there. Now we know that it stopped. So now we know that people aren't taking that damage anymore. That's kind of too late. Okay. But that's how we know, because we can see that the mob has this giant cast bar, and that when that everybody took damage. So there's only one mob. It's doing that thing. It's gonna keep going. Divine him immediately. Because it's better to be ahead, right? It's better to use those cooldowns before you panic. Okay, now how are these two going? These are going just fine. So that was a lot of flash heal spam when there wasn't necessary things to heal. It's a small thing. I like how you're swinging your camera everywhere. You're always trying to get a good view of what's going on, and that's really good. Okay, I'm really interested in this pull. Because this is one of the hardest ones in the whole place. Okay. So, volcanic doesn't matter. All right, we got that soul storm again. So we're moving. We're not casting. We're moving. Right, the master spell. How do you? Oh, I see. You have okay. You do have little debuff symbols up there. If they work for you, then they work for you. But like, yeah, interesting. Okay. This is a great pull where that preparation just really works. Now there also was an example of you were standing there getting hit by the shade and healing from the shade, right? So effectively not doing much. Would have rather seen a slight move and then heal somebody else. Even again, if you're just running, casting that renew. Okay, now here's another one with a lot of chaos. There's a tornado. Okay, there's another tornado. Right, so we don't actually need to move that far, right? We're moving all over the place again. We don't actually need to do that. This is a pretty simple sidestep mechanic. We never really got a good view of it, but there'll be another tornado here. Oh, you're already out of it. So we didn't need to move there at all. That required no movement. Something to keep in mind. Okay, now this is another very tough pull coming up here, another chaos pull with a lot of debuffs and a lot of things happening. So I think I see. I think your debuffs, they show up when you have a debuff on your screen, it shows up like here, right? I think. Is that where they are? Again, if those work for you, that's cool. Just make sure that you can really see what's happening. Quickness and clarity, right? Okay, so there's a whirlwind. Good, you just stood your ground because it doesn't matter. Perfect. Okay, didn't need to move there. Spiteful Shade, though. There's another whirlwind. This is the chaos here, right? Moved a little bit, took a hit from the shade, but it was on your shield, so no big deal. The whirlwind. Now that whirlwind you actually moved into. Let's check that again. This is going to be the theme. This is going to be the theme. Now look at it. You're actually not getting hit by it right now. It's going to go there. You're out of this whirlwind. But look. You moved forward. Move forward. And that stinks. It feels bad. We don't like feeling bad. We don't like feeling bad. Okay, now I don't want to watch the rest of this little thing here, so let's go here. This boss. Very challenging boss to heal. Oh, you're still running back. Running back. Okay, here we go. Now it's a fortified week, so this one is one of these many bosses where you really want everybody to stay topped up as much as possible. But once again, this is a boss where affix is pending. There's very much no reason to move on it, which makes our lives very much easier. Love the Master Spell there. Take care of both of those dots. Right. Right. I don't love the long heal cast there though. This boss, the damage happens so fast, you're gonna want that flash heal. Okay. So more movement that wasn't there. All right, you snuck in some DPS at a very risky time, but I dig it. Okay, that was some great DPS there. That was a really good smite. Yeah, really good. Really good. Okay, let's skip forward again. We're gonna get through this trash. We've got a trash theme at this point. We don't need to worry about it. Let's get to these bosses. Or where are we? This gore chop? Not yet. I think we gotta be getting close here. Oh, okay, that's the guy on the bridge, so a little further ahead. Yeah, here's the last ones before Garchomp. Okay. See how Garchomp goes. Okay. Here we are. Right. Oh, good, you're drinking. Good, good, good. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. Yep. Honestly, so far this is pretty solid. Like you're making good healing choices for the most part. You're sneaking in DPS when you can. That's all solid. Oh, that was a very angry noise, wasn't it? Okay, so we're doing a lot of movement here that we don't need to do, and we've already discovered that when we move, we generally aren't casting things. Okay, yeah. Yeah. The chains, right? Chains are so frustrating. All right, let's see how it goes. Okay, so that's more movement than we had to do again. That's a picky one there, but okay, so here's the thing. Look at this. This is a really important piece on this boss. Preparation, right? Preparation. Okay, watch this. Okay. Okay. We're going to run out of this circle. And that's what we're supposed to do. We need to be out of this. We know that if the circle is down, the chains are down. But the chains aren't here. Which means the chains are over here. Now, this is two things. One, we're going to have a chance to look and get in a good spot. But it also means that we don't know where to go. We could have an opening here, 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 here. Could be anywhere, and we don't know where it is. So we need to swing that camera around and take a look. But let's see what happens here. Okay. There. Now, we can finally see where they are. Here's our opening, but they're already moving. They're already coming at us. So we have less time, right? It's more panic. Oh, we went too far. Okay, good choice there, though. You ran through the green instead of the chains. Good choice. Okay. Oh, thing on the ceiling. Once again, we can't see the chains. Now, we know the chains are going to be down, but we don't know where they are, right? Now, we still don't know where... Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Panic, right? Preparation. Gotta be looking. Okay. So we've caught back up. I don't know why we're going over here, but again, there's the chains. Okay, now we already found... Now, see, that was a great example of doing it well. Let's bump that up because that's really excellent. So you ran over here. Don't know why. We've been over that. This is you. I can see you looking at that. Like, I can see that you rotated the camera until you saw that. And you're like, that's where I'm going. That's what we want to do. That's it. And then I love what happens next. He pulls you in, and you rotated your camera so that you can... Where is it? You can still see it. It's right there still, right? You're still looking at it. And then as soon as you get control of your character back, you head for it, and you don't get hit by the chains. That's how you do it. That's the textbook way to go. Okay. Nice job. Nice job. And the last boss. Okay. All right. So this is another one of the bosses where it makes sense to be closer, and you're pretty close, so that's fantastic. Yeah, I really don't care about those volcanics. I miss them all the time, and whatever. Okay. Good, good. Yeah, you prepped that. That was really good. That was movement in advance, and now you're just standing still, and you're like, I'm fine. Love it. Okay, now this is, we don't actually want to be that far away. We want to be not hitting other people with our circles, but we want to otherwise be in the thick of things so that our mob ends up in the thick of things. It's one of those tight, close, but not too close things. Okay, once again, I like it. You're on the opposite side of her. You can see that you don't care about this, and you just stand your ground. Perfect, perfect. Okay, now we're about to get hit by an AoE here. Okay. There we go. Don't need to move, but you moved anyway. So again, that's another unnecessary move there. Now you're gonna be better off here if you are standing on the side. So we're gonna have a thing come through here. There's gonna be one here, and there's two. Looks like we can barely see this one, but you probably didn't see it on the screen. I know I wouldn't have. And there's one that's gonna be coming over here this way, sort of, right? If you're in the middle of the screen, this is a lot of lines you got to care about. What I always recommend people do on this boss is if you're standing over here or over here, you can see the closer two are going to miss you immediately. So you don't care about those. Then all you have to do is find where are these other ones going to come from, right? And then you're fine. And it's a lot easier and a lot less movement. You're dealing with 2 at a time instead of 4 at a time. Definitely recommend that on this fight. Oh, right, I'm tanking. I was about to compliment the tank. You see the tank dragged her over to the side, which means that you have this area as great places to stand. Okay, let's continue. Oh god, they're now see here, come from all sides. There's a thing. I don't know where to go. You never saw one of those. Right, that's just positioning. Now this is the moment of the fight that makes the fight, right? This is the moment where we have come on. We've got these. We're all getting dragged this way. We're about to have ads here, 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 and here. Everything happens at once. This is our automatic big heal. Just pop your cooldown. This is, if you need it at all in the fight, it's going to be this moment. So just assume it's coming, plan it. That's the big thing. Right. Things went okay. Now again. Oh, okay. And there we got it. All right. So honestly, your spell choices are good. You're sneaking in DPS. Your spells are matching the higher ranked players. Sorry about that. Your things are where we want them to go. For you, I think that the places to improve are moving more deliberately, right? Find shorter movement paths and only move when you're aware of it. And that will be a major, major thing, I think, moving forward. The second thing is practice casting Renew while you move. And then once you're good at that, practice casting other spells while you move. But for now, just if you're moving, be casting Renew. And that will, I think, go a long way towards prepping that. It'll also help you keep in mind when you're moving, right? Because if you have a task that you need to do while you're moving, then you start to link those things. You'll start to notice when you're moving extra. And the third thing is, well, okay, 2.5. Finish your casts. If you're 90% done a cast, just finish the cast. Very few times where you would not want to do that. And then the final thing is prepare big group heals and big cooldowns before you panic. Use things sooner. You'll learn when you're going to have to save things. Like on my Resto Shaman, I know the moments of the dungeon at this point where I'm going to need Ascendance to get through it. And as long as I'm at least 3 minutes away from that portion, I know I can use it freely. And for you, Divine Hymn and other abilities like that, for now, just use them whenever you need them. Use them in advance. Use them more liberally. Keep ahead rather than behind and panic, and then you'll learn the spots where, oh, I really needed that Divine Hymn there this time. Sorry, I didn't have it. I'm gonna remember that next time I go here, this is an important part for that cooldown. And I think that's it. So just one more time. More deliberate movement. So that means less or straighter lines. Watch extra movement that you don't need. Practice casting Renew while you move, and then other spells. Finish your casts and use your cooldowns before you need them rather than after. And that's otherwise, I mean, it looked great. Oh, and then like I said at the beginning, I would clean up a few things in the UI, but it's your UI, so you do what you want. For my taste, there's more information there than we want, but if it works for you, it works for you. Yeah. Thanks so much for sending it in. If you've watched this video and want me to do similar for you, please let me know. We'll run one and we'll do it. And I super hope it helps, and love to see what happens to your healing after this. All the best. Bye.